Welcome back to Color Class. I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And today we are discussing something that every painter pretty much knows. And every good color analyst knows this as well. And it's a common thing between the two. And I was going to say, did color analysts steal this from painters?
Well, people often say to us, how do you do absolutely custom portfolios for us and have them be so perfect? It's, how do you do that? Because most color analysts think in terms of getting them into one of four, one of whatever, and then going and buying a palette, from their whatever, whoever supplies their palettes. We don't do that. But, I'm kind of starting to digress. I don't want to digress this early because then who knows where we'll end up. But let me pull it back to what we want to teach you. And if you want to do color analysis for yourself or for others, this is a key concept that you need to understand. So stay with us. Now, painters, particularly classical painters, the ones who, are in the history books, whatever, used a technique called the mother color. And I may have mentioned this kind of in passing before, and that is in some of my painting classes.
I was going to say, we talk about this a lot.
Yes, my painting instructor, who was very renowned, said, in order to make things look like they're bathed in the same light, so they don't look like a crayon painting. If you want to be a master, think like this. He said, add a touch of every color you're using, add a touch of the light in this painting. Let's say you're painting plein air, you're out, you're looking at a landscape, and you're thinking, what is the quality of my light here? Is it misty? You can add a touch of violet, just the barest touch. Or is it golden, sun-drenched? Add a touch of gold, just a touch. And if you do that, it elevates the quality of your painting tons. And it just looks professional and like, what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So
everyone's probably like, why are we talking so much about painting?
I'm sorry.
But it's going to come around.
I do that because I have two lives. I'm a painter and I'm a color analyst. And I use one with the other quite frequently. Now, for fun, I have a favorite painter. As you know, Van Gogh is like one of my absolute favorites. Mm-hmm. And the Impressionists I love because they were the first people to delve into the importance of color and atmosphere. And they played a lot of games and knew a lot of things that would give them results. So Van Gogh did a painting. It was called Hayfields. And he did it in every season, plus some. He did it on Tuesday. He'd do it again on Friday, and it was whatever. Mm-hmm. But he did it at the same time of day, so the shadows were still in the same place, but the atmosphere, the quality of the light was different. So I wanted to show you what Van Gogh created when he used different mother colors, and I chose paintings. One that used Sarah's color as the mother color, and one that used me.
Can you guess which one that is?
It's fairly obvious because if you go downstairs, look in my closet, you will see the palette there.
A lot of those colors
Exactly.
for yours. What is that, like a summertime?
Spring, I think it's a summertime-ish thing because the spring one he did was more intense. It had a lot more power in terms of the pigment. Mm-hmm.
This one's dustier, softer, more muted.
It's beautiful, right? It's so pretty. And then Sarah's, her mother color, you can see her hair in those hay bales. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the softness of the sun and whatever. Bottom line, this is how mother color works in painting, and you know how it works in us. So we are works of art. As I've often said, that's what we are. When we decide on our colors, when we decide on our makeup, whatever, we are adding an element to this work of art. And so generally, I have found that our color scheme, our human color scheme, relies on something that's pretty obvious. Our hair color. Because if you are, standing across the room, someone might say, oh, it's the redhead over there, or it's the lady with the gray hair. Rarely will they say, oh, it's the girl with the neutral skin tone. Because there's an overwhelming kind of look at me, with your hair color, your eye color too, if it's clear, but that kind of fades in importance as well. So if you're using the hair color as your mother color, things just work out fine. They work out brilliantly. So hair pigment, I'm going to call hair pigment your mother color. Now, we can debate this later, but for the purpose of teaching this, I'm going to say your hair is your mother color. And if you think about your mother color, and it is truly the mother color, because it influences your skin tone. But the bottom line is your hair color influences your skin tone in multiple ways, and it influences your eye color, which is why you look at big swaths of people, look at the Irish, for example, and, they have a similar hair color. Not all, some, it's kind of recognized, and a similar skin tone, which is kind of played off the hair color. So it's your mother color. So let's just go with that for now. We can do a whole show on why it's your mother color. If you add a hint of your mother color, your hair color, into whatever color that you're looking at, you are going to get a cohesive, harmonious palette.
That's where color harmony comes in.
Exactly. That's exactly right. You look at, say, a red, and you're starting with a red. And, you need kind of a red, regardless of what your palette, what you are, you're going to need a red. How do you find your red? If you are spring, typically springs are golden, their hair is golden, light, and you add a hint of that mother color into your red, you'll get something that is more corally, that is harmonious with the spring color palette. If you add a hint, if you're a summer like me, you add a hint of ash, right here.
Which summers tend to be a little bit more on the ashier side.
Ash brown, grayish, whatever. It will soften your color to make it really flattering on you. I see a moment here that I could go off topic, and that is when I was just in college, I had a job at an amusement park, painting the big signs and the carousels and whatever, just painting them. And there was an older gentleman there. He was pretty old. And he had all of these sign painter techniques that he used to, he was brilliant. But, I was watching him because I wanted to learn everything he did. And I was like, how did you get that color? I can't mix that color. And he goes, oh, I mixed in some ashes for my cigar. Yes, he was doing this piece, and he was literally mixing in he wanted to dull it down, kind of mute it a little bit. He literally mixed in the ashes from his cigar to get this incredible effect. So back to the topic.
Well, we didn't give them what shade you're kind of going to get with a red if you're a summer. You're
going to get something closer to a rose. A muted red is kind of a rose, right?
Yeah.
So that's what the guy at the amusement park always got with his reds if he was trying to mute them down.
Think about how much he had to smoke. Jeez.
Yeah, he's dead now. Long gone. Autumns. So Missy here, you look at her and you're like, what's her mother color? And it's like it's kind of a brick red, right? If you add a little brick into her palette, what are you going to get? You're going to get her entire autumn palette.
I was going to say a nice soft autumn.
And this works even if you add it into greens, even if you added whatever. As long as you get some of the mother color in, you're going to get a color that is more attuned to this palette. And winter, because black hair flashes with a blue highlight generally, you can add a little black, a little blue, and it brings the tone of the color down and cools it off just a smidge. And you're there. That's how you do your own custom palette for whatever, as long as you're basing it on your mother color.
Now, I know comments This is not 100%. We know, like, some people don't have hair. Some people...
We'll deal with that later.
That's a whole separate topic. Okay, this is strictly for...
But they do have eyebrows.
They do.
Fashion colors, they change all over the place, and they're whatever, and hair is your built-in color key. Think of it that way. It is built in. Now, you change your hair, you change your mother color. But that's your built-in color key. And everything else will tune into this. Even when, you think, oh, I don't know, how will that possibly work? Just try it. Just play with it. You will be amazed. I have to say it, Sarah. I'm sorry. But I'm going off topic again.
Oh, yes. Final notes. We need an off-topic moment.
Always. Well, I've already been off topic 3 times, I think. And the guys smoked it, whatever. Anyway, one thing to remember, you know how I go absolutely crazy over people who are given summer or spring as their season and their hair is dark brown, black, drives me out of my mind. Mm-hmm. And so of late, I've decided I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I'm going to find out how this can go so wrong. So I've been asking people who have said that they've gotten terrible color analysis, it just doesn't work for them. They go out, they buy wardrobe, it's wrong. Do you know how they got there? They had that white thing draped over their hair so that the color analyst couldn't see their hair, and she did their skin tone. Well, as we all know, skin tone it's influenced by your hair color. Mm-hmm. So when you have your skin tone going and she's saying, well, this is your skin tone, but you bring your hair down. This, for example, she brings her hair down, wears it in the front. Her skin tone goes warm, just like that.
And also another thing is, because you can't hide your brows, what about people like this who has different color brows from their hair? My brows have no red or gold in them whatsoever.
So if her hair were covered and disappeared, because her brows are ash, not red, her skin tone is neutral, a color analyst might say she was a summer, maybe?
So yeah, warm colors would not be for me.
Imagine her in the summer palette.
Yes.
No.
A nice pastel.
So I have found that people who wrap up other people's hair and don't take that into consideration in terms of the color analysis, I'm not going to say generally, can get it very wrong. I know that I went off topic slightly. Let's bring it back to the mother color. We need to remember that hair is it's not just a part of our picture. It's the light of our picture. It's the mother of our color palette. I don't know how else to say it.
Final takeaway.
Your hair is your mother color. Think of all the time we could have saved for everybody by just saying, hey, your hair is your mother color, okay?
I know, from the very beginning.
And if you echo it throughout your wardrobe, you will have beautiful harmony. You will have ease. You will get rid of your worry about holding up the...
Yes. Nothing's going to stand out in front of you. Everything's going to merge and blend together beautifully, creating that harmony.
And everything that you wear at this point, when you're considering this and making decisions this way, will look like it belongs to you.
Absolutely. Now, we talked about Patreon. So if you want to come join us and our 2,000 members over on Patreon, we would love to chat with you. Also, we have our social media links down below. If you need to reach us in any way, you can comment. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, wherever. We are there for you and to answer any of your questions. So thank you for joining us today. Lastly, I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
This has been another color class, and we'll see you in our next video.